The Bloodline saga is the focal point of WWE currently. The faction has become divided into two smaller groups with Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns butting heads over control of the stable. Roman returned at SummerSlam to cost Solo the undisputed WWE Championship. Since then, the original tribal chief has been trying to regain control of the faction that he created. However, Solo Sikoa has made it clear that he is the new tribal chief and that he is not ready to let go of the sacred Eula Fala anytime soon. This week on the brand, former WWE writer Vince Russo claimed that he was fed up with the storyline. He detailed that the company reportedly had a couple more Samoans waiting to be introduced. He felt that storyline had dragged on for too long, and it was getting tiring at this point. I'm reading on the internet with this bloodline, like there are 2 or 3 more Samoans lined up. I'm like, my God. Heyman wasn't lying when he said it was the top of the third 2 years ago. We're just gonna keep bringing in Samoans and just keep running this game plan for like how long? I'm so over it, and I'm so freaking tired of it. When you're clearly replacing an A team with a B team, and then we're supposed to believe that weaker B team is gonna go over at the end. It makes the whole thing such a massive waste of my time. From 158 to 38. The Bloodline lost the WWE Tag Team Championship. This week on SmackDown, the Bloodline tried to play mind games with the Motor City Machine Guns, goading them into a title match right after they defeated #DIY in a hard-fought battle. However, this plan backfired as Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso came out to the middle during the match. They neutralized Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, ensuring that the Bloodline couldn't employ their numbers game. With the referee knocked out, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa tried to use steel chairs on their opponents, but Jey Uso showed up and attacked the Tongan brothers. This allowed Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin to pick up a historic victory in only their 3rd match on the blue brand. Later, Jimmy and Jey Uso hugged in the ring as Roman Reigns watched from the entranceway. In the ever-polarizing world of professional wrestling, one of the most vocal critics recently has been none other than former WWE manager and commentator Dutch Mantell, who, in a tell-all interview, has let loose his opinions about the current Bloodline storyline. Once known for his savvy insights into wrestling psychology, Mantell was quick to emphasize his deep respect for the members of the Bloodline, particularly Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and the Usos. But his frustration was unmistakable as he described the ongoing storyline as a massive waste of time, leaving fans, analysts, and even some WWE superstars talking. Mantell, who's had his own share of storylines in WWE and other promotions, said, "The Bloodline story had potential. I won't deny that. Roman Reigns as the tribal chief, asserting dominance over his family. That was gold at first. You had fans hooked. It was emotional, it was deep, and it resonated with the Samoan legacy in wrestling. But now, it's just dragging." He continued, "Wrestling is about storytelling, yes, but it's also about knowing when to wrap things up and move on. This storyline had its climax months ago, when Reigns battled the Usos, and Jey Uso in particular, over the family hierarchy. But now, it's spiraled into repetitive promos, redundant betrayals, and a lack of clear direction. Fans aren't buying it anymore, and that's dangerous." His remarks struck a nerve among the WWE universe, many of whom were already vocal about wanting fresh stories. The Bloodline, once praised for its innovative drama and intense rivalries, has become a slow burn that some feel has overstayed its welcome. Mantell's words captured that sentiment as he remarked, "I've been in this business for decades, and one thing I've learned is that fans know authenticity. They know when a story is pushing boundaries, and they know when a story is stalling for time. The Bloodline had the chance to be the defining story of this generation, but it's become bloated, repetitive, and directionless." A key point of Mantell's criticism is that WWE isn't taking risks with the Bloodline storyline anymore. When Roman was originally crowned the head of the table, there was tension. We saw cracks in the family dynamic, real conflict, Mantell explained. But now, WWE is playing it safe. The same formula is being repeated every week. Reigns stands tall, Sikoa plays the enforcer, and someone in the bloodline either gets in line or gets thrown to the wolves. It's too formulaic. According to Mantell, a vital component in wrestling storytelling is to maintain unpredictability. Remember when the Shield broke up, or when CM Punk delivered the pipe bomb? Those moments were thrilling because fans didn't see them coming. But now with the bloodline, everyone knows what's going to happen next. How many times can we watch family members turning on each other without something truly different happening? His frustration also touched on the potential waste of talent in the bloodline's supporting cast. Solo Sikoa is one of the most intimidating young stars WWE has right now, Mantell pointed out. He's got an aura, a presence that can't be taught. But he's being sidelined as Roman's henchman, and that's all anyone sees him as. Sikoa could be out there in his own feuds, building his legacy, but instead, he's stuck carrying out Reigns' orders. WWE's missing a chance to build a future star by keeping him tied down. Mantell had similar sentiments about Jey Uso's arc, which he called tragic in the wrong way. When Jey initially rebelled against Roman, you could feel the tension. Here was a man stepping up to his cousin, a world champion, to defend his pride. It was compelling television. But after that, he's just been bouncing back and forth. First he's with Roman, then he's against him, then he's back. A man has no agency, and that's not the Jey Uso that fans want to see. While Mantell's criticisms were direct, he also offered some suggestions for how WWE could salvage the Bloodline saga before it loses any more momentum. You need a real shakeup. Either Roman Reigns loses, or there's a dramatic shift in alliances. Fans need something big, like a betrayal from Solo, a fresh, real rivalry with a heavyweight from another faction, or even Roman taking a serious loss that shakes him. WWE has to give us something that makes sense, but also surprises us. This staleness is killing fan interest. His candidness resonated with many WWE fans who feel the same way, frustrated by the lack of movement in the storyline. Some of the online fan forums were buzzing with reactions, supporting Mantell's stance, and even pushing for WWE to take action. One fan commented, "Mantell's got a point. The bloodline had its run, and it's time to move on. Let's see Roman take on new challengers, and let Sikoa shine on his own." Another fan wrote, "The bloodline story has become so slow-paced that I barely pay attention anymore. It's always the same old stuff, just repackaged every week." Mantell is speaking what everyone else has been thinking. Mantell's outspokenness drew the attention of others within the wrestling community, with some agreeing that WWE might need to take a step back and evaluate whether the Bloodline saga has genuinely run its course. A fellow retired WWE personality, Mick Foley, weighed in, stating, "Dutch makes a good point about needing to maintain excitement. The Bloodline storyline was a work of art initially, but sometimes in wrestling, we drag things out too long and they lose their magic." On WWE's end, the reaction has been mixed. Some insiders reportedly feel that the current storyline still has potential, especially with Roman Reigns continuing to command strong reactions from the crowd. But Mantell's criticisms have undeniably caused a stir behind the scenes, leading to some discussion about the possibility of shaking up the storyline. For Mantell, his outburst was less about tearing down the bloodline and more about preserving WWE's legacy of great storytelling. "I want to see WWE thrive, not just survive. And that's not going to happen if we keep recycling the same stories," he said, with a passion that underscored his love for the wrestling industry. The Bloodline could have been a modern-day masterpiece, but right now, it's turning into filler. It's up to WWE to decide if they want to leave a lasting legacy or just keep treading water. Time will tell whether Mantell's criticisms resonate with WWE's creative team, but one thing's certain: his words have added fuel to the ongoing debate over the Bloodline's future. as fans continue to tune in each week, hoping for fresh twists. Mantel's plea for change stands as a reminder of wrestling's ultimate goal: to keep fans on the edge of their seats, captivated by what's next.